Hi, my name is Amy Cothran. I want to let you know what happened at the school board meeting last night, September 12th. Before we got started on the school board meeting, there was a special a budget hearing. And the budget hearing, they just shared what was going on with the budget, and they shared that there was 11 new certified, so teachers and counselors and things like that, employees, and there were 6 new classified positions, a third secretary at the high school, 3 new sped paras, and a communication director, which has not yet been filled. There So that concluded. All it was just sharing out information like that. There is a donation from Sid Dillon of $1,500 to the Blair High School dance team. Thank you very much for that. The FBLA Fall Leadership Conference is in Denver, Colorado, Thursday, November 10th through Sunday, November 13th. We do have students that have qualified to attend. This will not be paid for with district funds. The FBLA will be doing some fundraising, and there will be some community donations to cover their cost. There was discussion about the policy 400.25. It really has to do with how teachers and students contact one another, interact with one another to keep our children safe. As the world gets a little bit more crazy, they have to beef it up a little bit, which is unfortunate. Like Carrie Lowski, the president, said, you know, her daughter would get little notes or things from teachers, and that just was amazing, and it made that connection. And she's just afraid that the more rules we put in place, granted the children are going to be safer, but are they going to be able to make those connections? They talked about teachers not texting, of course, the student from their private phone number. They use the Remind. I guess that's a new program coming in to text students. That way everything is saved, so you can go back and look at it. Not giving students rides in your personal car unless it's approved by the parent and the admin, and there's another teacher present. Just, you know, I think a lot of it is just common sense stuff to keep the kids safe. There was a monthly safety team meeting. And the people that were at the team meeting were people like the sheriff, the police chief, someone from the fire department, the state patrol, the people from the school. So they met about safety. They kind of set a baseline of where they're at. Where are we at with safety? They are going to meet every month, and the idea for next meeting is going to be a reunification process of what happens after a crisis. So after a crisis, how do we deal after a crisis? So to get everything back together, make sure all the kids are safe, you know, make sure everybody's present. So what do we do there? I think they're going to progress this on until we do have some live practice. So the BG&T committee, we're talking about, there seems to be some land, they say that it's known as the wetland, that I don't know if it's, I couldn't quite gather whether it was really the cities or the schools, but it seems as though Mr. Wick uses that area for his naturalist stuff. But the city was talking about possibly making it a dog park, and so they're kind of looking into that. It seems to be 3 acres. a kind of grown up area, but they kept saying it was because of the type of the grass it was. So we're not sure if that's going to happen. They're just kind of looking, the city's kind of looking at possible spots for a dog park. So, and that's a possible spot. There were alarms that were put on doors. So if the door is left ajar, it's going to alarm the office. So we will not have doors that are left open. All part of that safety. Then they started talking about growth some, and it seems as though there's about 40 more high school students in the high school this year than there was last year at this time. So they're really concerned about growth in the high school and the middle school because those are already really full. So if we continue to have growth, they're going to continue to figure out how to accommodate the growth. From what they said, our last game that we had on the turf was a very large attendance, like at a homecoming game, which is great for the income it brings in for our school. They also said that there are several big games, home games planned this year, so that it will help. Insurance is due, and they said that there is a $52,000 increase in their insurance. I mean, we've all felt it, at our homes, we felt the increase. We've got some shared teachers, and so that came up and how much it was going to cost a day to share the teacher. It looks like we have a psychologist and a physical therapist and an occupational therapist that we share with other places. The ESU 3, I'm not sure what that is, Fort Calhoun and Arlington we share some type of teacher with them. Okay, the last thing that they had on the agenda was the Fast Bridge. Seems so right now the K2 are doing the Fast Bridge, and it's comparable to the MAPS, and they're coming up to scores in the 55 percentile to 60 percentile range. The elementary school, the K-12 or K2, I'm sorry, principal was there, and she said she'd like to set the benchmark at 80%. So that's going to be a lot of growth this year to get those kids to 80. There was a policy that employees' use of school-owned computers. So it seems it's been in this has been in effect for a long time, that teachers paid $36 a year and was able to use the school computer. The problem is when the teachers pay $36 a year, it lulls them into this false security that what they put on the computer is private, and it's not. It's still school-owned computer. There's no privacy going on there. So, and there's 201 staff members last year that used this, so paid the $36 and used the school-owned computer for school work and personal work. And they have voted to remove this policy. So the teachers can still use the school-owned computers, but they're not going to charge that $36. They don't want the teachers to think that they have privacy on those school-owned computers. And that's, like I said, that's what the $36 a year seemed to equate to, is that's what the thought was. The second reading on this policy being removed will be next month. And that has your board meeting. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day. Oh, one more thing. Everybody was present at the board meeting, and your school board candidate, Courtney Tabor, was there. Thank you.